TikTok trend deemed as bed rotting has raised some concerns from mental health experts. So bed rotting is when people decide to stay in bed all day doing immobile activities that include sleeping, watching TV, or being on the phone. Now, experts say it's okay to have a lazy day, but people should incorporate other activities too, like hanging out with friends and family. They warn that being inactive for a long time could be a more serious mental health concern, and people should talk to a doctor if it happens often.
The news stations that currently exist aren't going to talk to you honestly about why so many people are in bed. So many people are in bed because the system is killing us. There are many reasons why people are in bed all day. One of them is there's been a mass disabling event happening for the last 3 years, so people literally are disabled more than ever before. Because the system doesn't give a fuck about disabled people, it's still forcing people to work. And then it's not paying us enough to live. People can't afford to do anything. We can barely afford rent or food. How the fuck are we supposed to do anything besides lay in bed? Like, honestly, we can't even go, most of us can't go outside and breathe the air anymore safely. We can't go inside in public places. We can't afford anything, even if we did. But this system isn't going to give you the kindness that you deserve because the billionaires own the mainstream media that reports about what's going on. So it's going to do everything it possibly can to guilt all of us into feeling like lazy pieces of shit, even though, as Dr. Devin Price has talked about at great length, laziness doesn't exist. We live in a eugenics culture that hates disabled people. We live in a eugenics culture that hates anyone black or brown. We live in a cis heterosexist culture that hates anyone that is a gender marginalized person who's disproportionately made to shoulder all types of nurturing work and then doesn't pay you shit for it. We live in a culture that's incredibly sexually violent and doesn't criminalize that violence. So there are more single people than basically ever before in human history. Single people that can barely afford to live. We can't afford to have sex safely anymore because they removed Roe v. Wade. More people are educated and more indebted, although propagandized and oversaturated with inaccurate information. We've still been able to connect and say, hey, we deserve better. But this system is not fucking doing it. And climate change is absolutely wrecking everything about our ability to have hope for the future. So what do? We go onto apps like this where we can talk to other people that are understanding what we're talking about because our immediate surroundings are fucking awful. Our immediate surroundings are unsafe for us in basically every way and we can't afford to live. And that system is the reason why we can't afford to live. There's no reason why we shouldn't be able to afford to live because we as human beings have created the system. We can build a society that doesn't treat disabled people and every other disenfranchised group just like this. We can build a society that doesn't make us want to lay in bed all day so that we can actually afford not just to live, but to thrive.